need to talk to you. Thank you.
And
Thanks
they're also
for the tip.
Pissed about the federal government. The guy that made made this great beer with cannabis oil in it. Did you hear about this guy?
Ooh, no, but tell me.
And there was, he was selling it, but the federal government said, hey, dude, you should have ran that by us before you start putting it in. So he's got a few bottles left. They said you can sell the rest of your stuff, but you got to get it approved in order to, before you can start doing it again. But it's got cannabis oil, and the people love it. And it's a microbrew out of San Francisco. Guys out of San Fran. Yeah.
What's the name?
Road trip.
Something like that. It's like I don't know, some you have to pot beer, just like a pot beer.
Yeah, pot beer.
Or cannabis oil and beer.
Let's Google that now so we can
order
fulfill
some.
our
I think the
public
bottles are
service
going, but the
requirements.
people, it was flying off the shelves, and so he's probably got a few cases left. Except the people love it.
Who does he have to get this passed?
Federal government.
Oh, Sessions isn't going to do that.
Well, actually, pot is approved, so is cannabis oil. He just did not go through the right channels.
But isn't Sessions looking to use the federal government in order to violate states' rights when it comes to marijuana?
I guess.
States' rights are only for disenfranchising minorities.
Yeah, and gay people.
Yeah.
Oh, and women.
Yeah.
Like, take away all of the Planned Parenthoods or just make one in the center of the state on a mountain that you have to climb while you're pregnant. Do that.
and while running a gauntlet of rabid anti-choice protesters.
Yeah.
America.
Oh, God. You know what? We're just in a rough spot right now, and if we can hold on, our country will be better for it, because we have to look the problem square in the face to identify it, and now we get to talk about the ugly undercurrent of, well, it's not even an undercurrent anymore, it's overt of, racism, misogyny, bigotry.
Well, and when we're on the topic of abortion, the preferred method of killing children, school shootings.
Oh, or war.
Yeah,
we don't mind.
Well, if they survive childhood, then we can use war to kill them. But we had, was it one or two more school shootings this week? They're so hard to keep track of, and with graduation season.
My God, it's so fucking scary.
That's I don't have children, so I can't really weigh in on this. But I know
you can.
Well, no. But I mean, not from an educated perspective. The whole idea of year-round schools.
Yeah.
I understand there are people who think there are benefits to that. With all the school shootings happening, and obviously the government isn't doing anything to stop these, I want to be a proponent for ending year-round school. I think summer break, let's try and get kids shot in the streets during the summer.
More kids have been shot.
They shouldn't be shot in school during the summer. They have the rest of the year to be shot in school.
Exactly. Yeah.
More kids shot in schools than any of the two wars that we've had. The more kids have been killed than the guy going over to the war. Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
America, man. It's more dangerous to try to be educated.
Well, they do have a new guy that's going around. He's got people following him. He's saying he's Jesus. Did you see this guy?
No, I mean, there's
there's a white dude named
one in every generation, I guess.
Name is Jesus, and people are following him.
Yeah. What's his father do?
Yeah, carpenter.
No, his real father.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And what really, really gets me is like the blatant hypocrisy. I mean, it's going to be revealed soon that the $1.5 million payment to a playmate was for Trump that Elliot Brody made, so that Trump made her get an abortion. He made her get an abortion, but yet the white evangelical Christians are like, he's our guy. He's making sure that we protect the babies. No, he's not. I mean, only like,
just the poor people's babies.
Just the poor people's babies. So that they can...
When are the poor whites ever going to confront the white elites for conning them into believing that immigrants and blacks and everyone are the cause of their problems?
When they get rid of religion.
Really?
When they
That's the first. I never heard that one.
yeah,
That would be good.
because I was raised in the South, Assemblies of God, white evangelical Christian, and they use religion there to say that no matter how bad your life is, and it's part of the, like, you can look at it in the 60s, like in the Southern Strategy and everything, at least you're not a person of color. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's the same way with sexism. No matter how bad your life is, dude, at least you're not a woman. Right. You're more qualified than she is. And if you're white, you're more qualified than that person of color.
Right.
And the church uses this, the white church, because my grandfather was a pastor and he was a real piece of shit. And he would preach that black people are black because they bear the mark of Cain, the world's first murderer. Yeah. And that's why they're so...
We were supposed to be the children of Ham. That was...
Is that why they serve it on Easter?
Yeah.
I'm Jewish. I don't know these things.
He's the only guy, I swear to you, he could be getting the guillotine. He will crack one right before they cut his head off. He will say, well,
That's a way to... That's a way to go. I need to do that because I tell you what, man, I've gotta be funny again. Like
you're doing a pretty damn good job. Why you're on here?
Thank you, but I do get a little dark.
But that's
truth.
It's what we do.
Come on, comedy comes from the dark side and truth.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. I mean, how else are we able to? Comedians share that, their issues and stuff on the radio.
And I think, especially in current times, people need to be aware that, it's all going to shit, but it's not a lost cause. We can, we can still have a little fun. We can, take a breather while looking at what's going on around us.
Hope is the last element released from Pandora's box.
Yeah, my mother.
Those Greeks.
Yeah, my mother, who was very religious, but also, we call her the Ayatollah Khomeini. That's what we called her, which meant official ass beater. And she, Bible in one hand, motherfucker in the other. That's how she was. And so, she didn't mind doing anything for you. She will help you, but if you cross her, you can cancel Christmas. She's going to fuck you up.
Oh wow.
So, I
was she a Scorpio?
Yeah. Aquarius, actually. Aquarius. February. Yeah.
February.
Yeah. So I'm, we have to take our parents and everybody to a whole new level. Yes, we do. Yeah, but it's good that your opinion on that situation. Because I don't think a lot of people have been paying attention to that. And it's now come down to a cultural thing. This is, that there's not the fact that they wanted, that the immigrant is their problem, but the fact that they believe white people are losing their place.
Yeah, when you lose your privilege, it feels like oppression.
Right.
And that's what's happening.
Right. But I mean, you invited them here. You go over, and this is why I talk about corporations. They've decimated Syria, blew it all up, made it look like crap. Then you're pissed because the Syrians are coming here. Well, you approved the war.
Yeah.
You approved the war in Iraq. You approved the war in Afghanistan. They claim that they're going to bring you more jobs. Says who? I mean, because those...
Says who?
Yeah, those jobs that you're looking for, carriers going to Mexico. I mean, Trump said, hey, we're going to bring back... No, you're not. We're not a 40 to 50% production country as we used to be. They're trying to make us again, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, coal ain't going to do it.
Well, they've never wanted to pay the American worker. They've never wanted to pay you, the monies that you feel that you deserve. That's why, a guy is 40 years old working at McDonald's. That was our job. We don't have anything for our kids to do. That's because some 40-year-old fucker raising 4 kids has got his job. That was our job.
Yeah.
16 years old? What are you going to do, dude? Probably work at Burger King.
I was 15 working at Burger King.
There you go.
I had my own apartment.
Hey!
And it was so hard to keep going to high school.
Yeah.
While paying for an apartment.
Right.
And working, I think it was $5.25 an hour I was making.
Wow.
And I can guarantee you, I worked harder at that Burger King job in 1 hour than Donnie Teabag has ever worked in his whole sad fucking life.
Right.
I
mean, but they say, because I work at juvie. So when they say, wait, man, when you see a 29-year-old, that you heard about the parents that had to throw their son
in New York,
and throw him out. He's 30 years old.
Wow.
I was paying rent. My mother took my paper route money. I was 8 years old. I was like, hey. She said, yeah. Well, where's the tennis shoes? Yeah. She said, you see that chicken in there? Yeah, that's your money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They put your name on a bill. Sure would. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you had to pay it. If your name got put on that bill. Oh, wow. Gas bill or electric bill, they put your name on it. Yeah.
Wow, so, that is teaching. That's teaching the world early.
I don't see anything. I don't really. I mean, I thought at that time, but when I see a guy I work with buy his son a 17-year-old a $40,000 car, and he thought I was going to give him a slap on the back, and I said, "You're an idiot. I would have never bought that kid." He's starting up here.
Yeah.
What are you teaching him?
Well, I mean, that's why Don Jr. and Eric and Ivanka are such fucking douchebags. Right. I mean, they've just, that's the problem of the nouveau riche. Like they...
Did you call it the nouveau riche?
Yeah.
Wow, I never heard that.
You never heard nouveau riche?
The new rich.
Yeah.
Oh,
but fancy like.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like Donnie's dad was rich. His daddy gave him a lot of money, and then he'd lose it, and then his daddy would give him more money. Mm-hmm. And now that he has, lied and gotten a bunch of loans, and bought wives, and he, his kids as part of the agreement, and I'm sure that that's part of the agreement. That's why these women don't talk about what happened, because Ivana Trump told the police that he had sexually assaulted her and beaten her up when he got his hair plugs. He got that scalp reduction surgery, right, for his stupid face. And then Marla Maples tried to make a book, All That Glitters Isn't Gold, and then that NDA quashed it, right? So he's got all of these NDAs. And I think that's why his children know what kind of fucking monster he is, and they stand by him anyway because he's purchased their loyalty, and that's why they have sweatshops.
But that's one of the questions, because one of the big stories in the news this week was things coming to light about Don Jr. and his meetings at Trump Tower, and I've been thinking about this. It's one of those things. People are like, oh, he's a loyal son, he won't flip, and I just can't help but think he will totally flip and then go to Senior for approval. He's like, I looked out for myself, just like you always taught me to.
Yeah. But you saw what happened to Madoff and his kids.
Yeah.
Madoff kids fucking broke when they started to close in.
Yeah.
He didn't know his son was going to commit suicide, and his son said, Dad, you did this, stole 150 billion?
Oh, wow.
Something like that. Yeah,
more money than I'll ever see.
Yeah, and he got 150 years too.
Wow.
Yeah, he's done. And he's
done.
Yeah, but his boys, and the wife was, she's probably still not doing bad. I mean, you don't hear about her, but
Yeah, didn't they try to move all of his assets to her so that they could still
hold on
to him?
She was the bookkeeper.
Yeah.
She's I didn't know anything about it. You're the bookkeeper. How did you not know what this guy was doing?
Would you just think that somebody came in the middle of the night and added all these zeros?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this guy did this. So I look at Don Jr. and those guys they could fold.
Yeah. I mean, they're obvious bitches because they know that their dad used to beat their mom. They know that their dad assaulted their mom, raped her.
Which one is their mom?
Ivana.
Wow.
And also Don Jr.
Immigrant, right? Immigrant.
Yeah. Immigrant, and also Don and openly carried on an affair, humiliating their mom. Don Jr. didn't speak to his father for a couple of years, supposedly, after this whole Marla Maples thing, and also Donnie Teabag beat up his son in front of his college roommate because he was running late, and that was right around the time that they weren't talking.
Wow. That one I didn't know. I missed that chapter in Art of the Deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of animosity there.
And this little young kid there. I mean, they don't
Barron?
Oh, Barron, yeah.
He's got a look in his eye, dude. Yeah. Barron, I don't know when he's going to snap, but when he does,
go full on Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, he's going to need Donnie should get a food taster, dude, because Barron's got some eyes on him, man. Right. I would too.
He's
treat
a tall,
my mom
lanky
like that.
Kid. Yeah, he's a tall, lanky kid too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He might, or he might. If he came out gay, boy, that would kill him.
Oh, I hope he just takes all the dicks.
This
is for you, Dad.
When he's old enough to consent.
When he's old enough to consent. Yes, yes, yes. 18th birthday.
Wow.
This is for you, Dad. Happy birthday.